The sky above Earth was dark and quiet. For centuries, humans had looked at the stars and wondered what waited beyond. Now, after 500,000 years, the stars returned their children. Massive ships, sleek and shining, appeared in the atmosphere. They moved with quiet precision, their surfaces reflecting the sun's light like mirrors. No one on Earth could ignore the arrival. In a city that floated above the forests, people watched with awe. Their eyes widened as the ships moved closer. This city was home to the descendants of humans who had not left Earth long ago. Over thousands of years, they had changed. Their skin was different, and their minds were sharper in some ways, but their strength and instinct were not the same as the returning humans. Whispers filled the air. Some feared the newcomers. Others were curious. On the largest ship, Ren stood at the edge of a viewing deck. His eyes scanned the planet below. The Earth he remembered from stories was not the same. Oceans sparkled under the sun, forests glowed faintly at night, and cities floated in the air, connected by bridges of light. Ren's heart ached with longing. This was home. This was the place humanity had begun. And now it awaited them again. Ren turned to his team. Each of them was different from humans of old. Their bodies were taller and more muscular. Their eyes could see farther, and their minds could calculate possibilities faster. They had evolved over centuries in space, learning to survive on distant planets. Yet, here on Earth, they felt both excitement and unease. They knew that this planet had not waited for them. Life here had grown in ways they could not fully predict. "Prepare for landing," Ren ordered. His voice was calm, but inside he felt the weight of history. This was not just a journey home. It was a return with purpose. Humans had left long ago because Earth was no longer safe. They had traveled through stars, faced dangers, and survived. Now they had come back. They had questions, and some answers. Outside, smaller ships separated from the main vessel. They descended toward the glowing cities. People in the cities looked up in alarm and wonder. Some ran to the bridges connecting towers to see better. Children pointed at the sky, and elders whispered names of legends, stories told for centuries about the humans who had left. Many had never believed the stories were true. Now they were seeing proof. The first landing was not violent. The humans touched Earth's surface carefully, like explorers walking on unknown soil. They studied the plants, the water, and the air. Everything felt familiar, yet strange. Ren knelt and touched the ground. It smelled like home, yet it was different. The energy of the planet had changed over the centuries, shaped by the life that had continued in their absence. From the floating cities, Mara watched. She was a leader among the Earth-born humans. Her eyes were sharp, and her mind always calculated the best course of action. She noticed the differences immediately. These newcomers were stronger and taller. They moved with confidence and purpose. Mara understood quickly that these humans were not ordinary visitors. They carried knowledge and instincts that had been lost on Earth long ago. Ren moved through the landing site with his team. They observed the people around them carefully. There was no sign of immediate aggression, but Ren knew appearances could be misleading. They had to learn, to adapt. The returning humans had survived in the harsh conditions of space, but Earth had its own challenges now. Mara's people had built defenses and technology that could rival anything the returners had ever seen. As night fell, the ships shone like stars in the sky. Below, the cities glowed softly. Ren walked through the forests near the first landing. Strange plants reached high into the air, and glowing rivers wound between trees. Birds and creatures that had never been seen on Earth before moved around silently. Ren realized that though humanity had left, life had not stopped. Earth had grown in ways humans could not imagine. Ren spoke quietly to his team. "We are back," he said. "This is our home, but it is also a new world. We must respect it. We must learn." We must be ready for what comes next. His words carried through the night, carried by the wind and by the eyes of those who watched from the cities. Some people cheered. Some hid in fear. The humans had returned, and the earth would never be the same. The sky above shimmered as more ships appeared on the horizon. The return had begun, and the children of Earth had come home to see what had become of their world. The next morning, Ren and his team moved further into the heart of Earth. The sun rose slowly over glowing forests and sparkling rivers. From above, the cities looked like diamonds floating on water. The returning humans had seen many worlds, but none as alive and beautiful as this. Every step they took reminded them why Earth had once been their home. Ren paused on a hill to look around. Strange creatures moved among the trees. Some had wings like birds but bodies that shimmered with light. Others slithered along the ground, leaving trails of glowing dust. Ren touched a leaf. Its surface pulsed softly, almost like it was breathing. Life on Earth had not stopped in their absence. It had grown stronger, stranger, and more resilient. "Ren," said Taro, one of the team leaders, "this place, it is beautiful, but it is dangerous. The life here is powerful in ways we do not fully understand." Ren nodded. "We must study it. We must understand it. Earth has changed, but it is still ours to protect." As they moved toward the first city, they noticed the floating towers. They were made of a material that glowed softly, powered by energy that seemed to come from the planet itself. Bridges of light connected each tower, and vehicles moved along them without any sound. The returning humans had seen advanced technology on other worlds, but this was different. It felt alive, not just mechanical. From the highest tower, Mara watched. She had gathered her council and other leaders to discuss the newcomers. "They are not ordinary humans," she said. Her voice was calm but firm. "They carry strength and skill that we cannot ignore. We must decide quickly whether they are here to help or to take." Mara's people had grown smart over the centuries. They had learned to work with the strange energy of Earth and had built cities that could float above oceans and forests. Their technology could heal, protect, and defend. Yet, they had never faced humans like these. The returners had instincts, quick reflexes, and a natural strength that came from surviving in space for generations. Ren's team entered the city cautiously. People stopped and stared. Some children ran toward them, curiosity shining in their eyes. Some adults stepped back, unsure whether to approach or hide. Ren raised his hands in peace. "We come as humans of Earth," he said. "We come to see what has become of our home." A few citizens responded, pointing at the newcomers, whispering to each other. Mara watched from above, her mind calculating every possibility. She knew that misunderstanding could lead to violence. "We must meet them," she said quietly. "We must understand them before it is too late." Ren walked through the streets, observing the changes. Buildings were alive in a way he could not explain. Walls pulsed softly, responding to the presence of people. Vehicles moved as if guided by thought, following the passengers' intentions. Even the rivers seemed to change their flow slightly as they moved. Ren realized that Earth itself had evolved. Humans had left, but the planet had grown into something more than they had imagined. A small group of citizens approached Ren. They spoke in a language slightly different from what he remembered, yet familiar enough for him to understand. Their leader, a woman named Lyra, stepped forward. "You are the ones who left," she said. "We have heard of you from our ancestors. Why have you returned?" Ren looked at her calmly. "We left to survive," he said. "We traveled among the stars, faced dangers, and learned many things. But Earth is our home. We have come to see what it has become and to protect it, if we can." Lyra studied Ren carefully. "You are not like us," she said. "You carry the strength of the stars, but you do not understand our ways." Ren nodded. "Then teach us," he said. We will listen. We want to understand, not fight. Lyra hesitated, then gestured for her people to lower their defenses. We will watch you, she said. But know this. Earth is ours now. We will not let anyone take it without a fight. As the day passed, Ren explored more of the city. He noticed how humans and nature worked together. Buildings grew around trees, rivers powered energy sources, and animals moved freely through streets without fear. The returning humans were amazed at how much had changed. This was not the Earth they had left. It was stronger, smarter, and more alive. That night, Ren returned to the hill overlooking the city. Lights glowed softly across the landscape. The forests, rivers, and towers shimmered under the moon. Ren thought of the long journey that had brought them here. He knew that understanding this new Earth would not be easy. There would be challenges, and some of them would be dangerous. But he also knew one thing: humans, no matter where they came from, would always fight for their home. The returning humans had arrived, and Earth had welcomed them with beauty, mystery, and power. The story of reunion had begun, and it would change everything. The tension in the floating city grew as the day passed. Ren and his team continued to explore, studying the technology and life that had evolved during their absence. The Earthborn humans watched from the towers, unsure whether the newcomers were friends or threats. Both sides were cautious. Neither wanted to start a fight, but fear and pride made every movement heavy with meaning. Ren noticed children playing near the edge of a river that glowed with soft blue light. Their laughter was innocent, but Ren felt the weight of responsibility. These were humans too, but they were different. Their minds had adapted to Earth's changes, but they had not faced the dangers of space, or the tests of survival across harsh planets. Ren knew that skill and instinct were needed to navigate a world like this. Mara's people are watching us, Taro said quietly. We cannot let fear control them. But we must be careful. Ren nodded. We show respect, he said. We observe, we learn. If they attack, we defend. But we start with peace. Despite their careful approach, a misunderstanding was unavoidable. One of Ren's team members, a tall human named Kale, accidentally activated a device while examining a building. The walls glowed brighter, and a force field sprang up around him. From above, Mara's scouts saw this as an attack. Sirens sounded in the city. Energy shields rose from the towers, and strange machines hovered into the air, ready for defense. Ren quickly moved toward Kale. Stand down, he shouted. It is not a weapon, only observation. The energy shields hesitated but did not retreat. Mara appeared on the tallest tower. Her eyes were sharp, her posture strong. Stop this intrusion immediately, she called. You have no right to interfere with our city. Ren raised his hands in a gesture of peace. We mean no harm, he said. We only wish to see what has become of Earth. We do not take without asking. A small crowd gathered below, curious and frightened. Some citizens whispered about the stories they had been told of humans who had left Earth centuries ago. Others were afraid that these strangers would destroy everything they had built. Mara studied Ren carefully. She could see truth in his eyes, but she also knew that not everyone would trust him. Kale lowered the device and stepped back. The force field faded. The tension eased slightly, but the city remained on high alert. Ren turned to Mara. We can learn from each other, he said. We can share knowledge without conflict. Mara did not answer immediately. She walked to the edge of the tower and looked at the returning humans. Their strength and calmness impressed her. She had seen humans struggle before, but these were different. They carried the experience of survival across harsh worlds, and their instincts were sharp. Still, she could not ignore the fear of her people. Small skirmishes began to appear in the streets as misunderstandings grew. Some citizens accidentally triggered defensive mechanisms when they saw the newcomers. Kale and others tried to help, but the confusion caused friction. Rin realized that even with peaceful intentions, the differences between their experiences could lead to conflict. Rin decided to take action. He called a meeting in a quiet clearing near the city. "We cannot let fear guide us," he said to his team. "We are here to understand Earth, not to conquer it. We must find a way to show them that we respect their lives and their home." Meanwhile, Mara called a council of her leaders. "We cannot ignore them," she said. "They are humans, yes, but different. Their strength and instincts could be dangerous. We must prepare, but we should also observe. We need to understand their intentions before acting." The two groups watched each other, learning silently. Rin studied the floating towers and the glowing streets. Mara observed the humans' movements, noting their careful steps and quick thinking. Both sides realized that this was more than a simple encounter. These humans were not ordinary. The Earthborn humans had knowledge and technology, while the returners had instincts and adaptability. As night fell, Rin and Mara met secretly in a quiet part of the forest. The glowing plants lit their faces. "We cannot fight," Rin said. "Your people have built a strong world. Ours has learned survival in the stars. Together, we can understand this Earth." Mara considered his words. "Perhaps," she said. "But my people will not accept strangers easily. Some may see you as invaders." Rin nodded. "Then we must show them we are not. We must act with patience and respect." The first challenge had come. Misunderstandings and fear had nearly caused conflict, but Rin and Mara had taken the first step toward understanding. The road ahead would not be easy, yet both humans knew that the future of Earth depended on learning to trust each other. In the glowing night, the city watched silently. The returning humans had arrived, and the Earthborn humans were ready to defend their home. Yet, somewhere deep inside, both sides felt the possibility of something greater, a world where all humans, regardless of time or origin, could share the same Earth. The morning sun rose over the floating city, casting soft golden light across the towers and glowing rivers. Rin and his team prepared for another day of exploration. Last night had shown them how easily misunderstandings could turn into conflict. Rin was determined to change that. Today, they would try to learn, not just observe. Rin suggested a meeting outside the city. "We need to understand their world," he told his team. "We cannot assume that what worked in space will work here. We must be careful, patient, and respectful." Mara had also been thinking. The return of humans from space had stirred curiosity among her people. Some were still afraid. Others were fascinated. The council agreed to allow a small group, led by Mara, to meet Rin in a neutral area near a glowing forest. When the two groups met, silence hung in the air. Rin stepped forward first. "I am Rin," he said. "We left Earth long ago to survive, to learn, and to grow. We have returned not to conquer, but to see what has become of our home." Mara's eyes studied him carefully. "I am Mara," she replied. "We have lived here for thousands of years. We have built this world, learned its ways, and protected it. Your arrival is sudden, and it brings questions we cannot ignore." Rin nodded. "We understand. That is why we came to meet you. We wish to learn, to share, and to avoid conflict. We do not wish to take what you have built." The meeting began slowly. Rin and Mara asked questions about each other's lives. Rin learned how Earthborn humans had adapted to the glowing forests, the rivers, and the strange animals that now roamed freely. Mara learned how the returning humans had survived harsh planets, learned new sciences, and developed strength and instincts beyond what Earth had taught them. Taro, Rin's second in command, observed the technology Mara's people used. "Their machines are unlike anything we have seen in the stars," he whispered to Rin. "They work with the energy of the planet itself. It is alive." Rin nodded. "Yes. And yet, Our instincts, our quick thinking, and our ability to adapt are different. Perhaps together, we can learn from both strengths. Mara watched Rin carefully. She noticed how he listened, how he asked questions without judgment, and how he treated the earth around him with respect. Slowly, she began to trust him. "Perhaps we can work together," she said softly. "Perhaps we can teach and learn from each other." Over the next few hours, they explored a nearby forest. Rin was amazed at the plants that glowed softly and seemed to respond to touch. Mara explained how her people had learned to communicate with the plants and the creatures. Rin showed how humans from space had used observation, quick thinking, and instinct to survive in harsh environments. Some Earthborn humans watched from a distance. They were curious but cautious. The council had warned them to stay alert. Still, many could not help but admire the returning humans' strength and grace. They moved with purpose, yet they respected the forest and its creatures. Rin and Mara sat by a glowing river and spoke quietly. "We are more alike than different," Rin said. "Our instincts, our courage, and our curiosity connect us. We may have traveled far, but we come from the same place." Mara nodded. "Yes. And yet, we have also changed. You have the strength of the stars, and we have learned to live with the energy of this planet. Together, we could achieve more than either of us alone." Rin smiled. "That is what I hope for. Understanding, not conflict. Cooperation, not war." As they spoke, the younger humans from both sides began to approach. Children from the floating city came closer, curious about the newcomers. Some of Rin's team knelt and smiled at them. Slowly, fear melted into curiosity. They began to show each other small games, mimic movements, and share simple ideas. Laughter began to fill the forest. For the first time, both groups saw the possibility of unity. The returning humans and the Earthborn humans were learning to trust each other. They realized that their differences could be strengths, not reasons for conflict. The lessons of space and the lessons of Earth could combine to create something greater than either alone. As the sun set, Rin and Mara returned to the city. The floating towers glowed softly in the twilight. The first step toward understanding had been taken. Both humans knew the road ahead would be long. Misunderstandings and fear would not disappear overnight. But for the first time, they saw the potential for cooperation, for learning, and for a shared future. That night, Rin looked at the glowing city from a hill. He felt hope for the first time since arriving. Earth had changed, humans had changed, and yet the connection between them remained. The story of reunion was no longer only about returning. It was about learning, sharing, and building a future together. And in the quiet night, under the glow of the forests and towers, Earth's children began to see that they could become one family once more. The peaceful morning did not last long. Rumors had spread quickly through the floating city. Some Earthborn humans believed the returning humans were here to take control. Fear and pride stirred among the citizens. Mara tried to calm her people, but the tension had grown too strong to ignore. Rin and his team prepared cautiously. They had hoped for understanding, but they knew that not all humans would trust them immediately. The first signs of conflict appeared when scouts reported strange movements near the edge of the city. The Earthborn humans had activated defensive drones, and the returning humans were ready to respond if necessary. Rin stood at the front, his eyes scanning the city below. "We do not seek war," he said to his team. "But we must protect ourselves if attacked. Stay alert, stay calm, and remember our training." Mara watched from the tallest tower. Her heart was heavy. She had hoped that cooperation could begin, but now it seemed impossible. Some of her people were determined to defend the city at all costs. She knew that if a battle started, it could be devastating. Yet, she also understood that the returning humans were not ordinary. Their strength and instinct made them formidable. The first clash happened suddenly. A misunderstanding caused a small group of Earthborn humans to fire energy nets at the returning humans, thinking they were intruders. Rin's team reacted instantly. They dodged with speed and precision, using techniques honed in the stars. The nets missed, but the tension exploded into open conflict. Rin moved quickly to calm the situation. "Stop," he shouted. "We do not want to fight. We are here to learn." Mara saw Rin's courage and quick thinking. She knew he was trying to protect both his team and her people. Still, the city's defenses had been activated, and the drones responded to any movement. Energy pulses lit the air as small clashes occurred between the two groups. Kale, Rin's second in command, used a clever maneuver to disable a drone without harming anyone. "See," he said, "we can defend without destruction. We do not wish to hurt your people." Some of Mara's leaders began to see the truth. The returning humans were not aggressors. They acted with strategy, skill, and care. Yet, fear still ran high. Mara knew she had to act quickly to prevent the conflict from growing. She sent a message to Rin, asking for a temporary ceasefire. Rin agreed immediately. Both sides stepped back, taking cautious positions. The city was quiet now, but the tension remained thick in the air. Rin and Mara met again, this time in a secure area near the edge of the city. "We cannot fight like this," Rin said. "We have strength, yes, but fighting your people will only bring pain. We must find another way." Mara nodded. "I see that now. But my people will not trust strangers easily. Some still think you are invaders." Rin thought for a moment. "Then we must show them our intentions. We can protect, not destroy. We can help them understand that we are not their enemies." Mara considered this. "Perhaps a demonstration of trust could work," she said. "We need to act together in a way that shows both strength and care." The opportunity came sooner than expected. A small part of the city, near the outer forests, began to show signs of danger. Strange creatures, evolved from Earth's wilds, approached the city. They were curious, but their size and power could cause damage. Both groups saw the threat at the same time. Rin moved quickly. "We act together," he called. "Your technology and our instinct. Let us protect the city." Mara agreed. The Earthborn humans used their energy shields and machines to guide the creatures safely away from the city. Rin and his team moved with speed and precision, using their strength and agility to guide the creatures. Slowly, the threat passed without anyone being harmed. The cooperation amazed both sides. People watched from towers and streets as returning humans and Earthborn humans worked together to solve the problem. It was the first real demonstration that strength and technology could combine for the good of all. That evening, Rin and Mara stood together on a hill overlooking the city. The glowing towers and rivers reflected the fading sunlight. "Today was dangerous," Rin said. "But we learned something important. We can work together." Mara nodded. "Yes. Fear nearly caused destruction, but courage and trust prevented it. This is only the beginning. The road ahead will be difficult, but we have hope now." For the first time, the two groups truly saw the potential of unity. The returning humans and the Earthborn humans had faced conflict, yet they had discovered the possibility of cooperation. It was a lesson that would guide the future of Earth. The night fell gently over the city, and the stars reflected in the glowing rivers. Both humans knew that challenges were still ahead, but they also knew that together, they could face anything. The great conflict had begun, but it had also shown the first glimpse of hope for unity. The city was quiet after the recent conflict. The floating towers glowed softly, and the rivers below shimmered under the setting sun. Rin and Mara walked together through a forest near the city. The tension from the previous clashes still lingered, but both felt a growing need to understand the truth about each other. Rin had noticed something strange during the battle. Some Earthborn humans moved with instincts and reflexes that seemed familiar, almost like the returning humans. He had asked his team to analyze this quietly. Now, he shared his discovery with Mara. Mara, Rin said, I have noticed something important. Some of your people, their reactions, their instincts, they are similar to ours. Faster, sharper, stronger than ordinary humans. It is more than training. There is a connection. Mara's eyes widened. What do you mean? She asked cautiously. Rin explained. We left Earth many centuries ago. Your people are descended from humans who stayed behind. But I believe your ancestors carried parts of our genetics. Perhaps over time, they evolved with the planet's energy, but the core connection remains. Mara was silent, considering the words. If this is true, she said slowly, then our people and yours are not so different. We are linked. Rin nodded. Yes. We are one family, though time and experience have separated us. Understanding this could change everything. We do not need to fight. We can unite, and together protect Earth from any threat. Mara thought of the city, the floating towers, and the glowing forests. She realized that fear had shaped her people's actions, but the returning humans had not come to conquer. They had come to see, to learn, and to share. This revelation made her feel both relief and hope. The two leaders decided to share this discovery with a small group of trusted individuals from both sides. In a secure hall, Rin and Mara explained their findings. We are connected, Rin said. Our ancestors may have taken different paths, but our roots are the same. We share blood, instincts, and the same home. Fighting each other now would only weaken us. The room was silent. Some Earthborn humans looked shocked. Others began to nod slowly. Understanding began to replace fear. One elder spoke. We have always felt a difference between ourselves and the stories of humans from the stars. Perhaps this explains it. We are not strangers to them. We are family. Rin added, together, we can combine our strengths. Your knowledge of this planet, its energy and its creatures, and our experience of survival, adaptation, and strategy. We can build a future that neither group could create alone. Mara smiled. Then we must show our people that cooperation is possible. We must lead by example. The next days were spent working side by side. The returning humans helped the Earthborn humans improve city defenses, not for war, but to protect against natural disasters and potential cosmic threats. Earthborn humans taught the newcomers how to harness the planet's energy for building, transportation, and communication. Both sides learned from each other's skills and instincts. One evening, while standing on a hill, Rin observed children from both groups playing together. They ran through the glowing forests, laughing and chasing each other. He realized that the future of Earth would not belong to one group or the other, but to all humans united. Mara approached him. The elders are beginning to trust you, she said. They see the truth. We are connected, and our shared history is stronger than fear. Soon, everyone will understand. Rin nodded. It will take time, but we have made the first step. Understanding our connection changes everything. Fear will fade when humans see that they are not enemies, but family. In the following days, small councils were formed throughout the city. Representatives from both groups met to discuss future plans. They shared knowledge of Earth's energy, technology, and natural defenses. They trained together, combining instinct and strategy with energy-based technology. Slowly, a sense of unity began to grow. One night, Rin and Mara looked at the stars above the floating city. We have discovered the truth, Rin said. The Earthborn humans are our kin. Our children of Earth are united by more than this planet. They are united by blood, spirit, and history. Mara smiled. And now, the story of reunion is no longer just about returning. It is about discovering who we are and building the future together. The city below glowed with a soft light, reflecting hope and renewal. Earth's children, both those who had returned from the stars and those who had stayed behind, were beginning to see themselves as one. The revelation had changed everything. From now on, they would face challenges together, protect their home together, and grow stronger together. For the first time in 500,000 years, Earth's humans were truly united. They had discovered their connection, embraced it, and prepared to write a new chapter in their history, a chapter of strength, courage, and shared destiny. The first light of dawn painted the floating city in shades of gold and pink. The air was calm, and the rivers and forests below shimmered softly. Rin and Mara stood together on the highest hill overlooking the city. The events of the past days had changed everything. Fear and misunderstanding had given way to cooperation and hope. Rin looked at the city with awe. "This earth has grown stronger while we were gone," he said. "Your people have created something remarkable." Mara nodded. "And your people have returned with strength and courage. Together, we can make Earth even greater." Both groups of humans had begun to work side by side. The returning humans shared their knowledge of survival in space, strategy, and adaptability. The Earth-born humans shared their understanding of the planet, its energy, and its technology. Slowly, old boundaries disappeared. They built bridges over rivers, repaired floating towers, and helped each other understand the strange creatures of the forests. Children from both groups played together, learning each other's ways. They ran through glowing fields, laughed, and explored. Their innocence reminded everyone of why they were here, to protect Earth and ensure its future. Rin and Mara called a council of leaders from both sides. They spoke of trust, cooperation, and shared goals. "We are all humans," Rin said. "Different, yes, but our home is the same. We must protect it, and we must teach the next generations to value both our strength and our knowledge." Mara added, "Our differences are not weaknesses. They are our greatest strengths. We have learned that by combining what we know and what we can do, Earth can face any challenge." The council agreed to a plan. Returning humans and Earth-born humans would live and work together. Cities would be rebuilt with both technology and natural energy. Forests would be preserved, rivers protected, and creatures respected. Every human, no matter where they came from, would contribute to this shared future. Rin visited the young humans playing in the forest. He watched as they learned from both sides how to move with speed and precision like returning humans, and how to understand the energy of the planet like Earth-born humans. He smiled, knowing that the next generation would be stronger and wiser than anyone before. Mara worked alongside engineers and scientists. She learned new methods from Rin's team, combining them with the energy-based technology her people had developed. Together, they built machines that could clean the rivers, help plants grow, and guide animals safely through the cities. They were creating a world where strength and knowledge worked together. As days turned into weeks, the humans began to celebrate their unity. Festivals were held where both groups shared songs, stories, and dances. They laughed together, shared meals, and taught each other their customs. The city glowed brighter with happiness and life. One evening, Rin and Mara stood on the edge of a tower, looking at the horizon. "We have come a long way," Rin said. "From fear and misunderstanding to trust and cooperation." Mara smiled. "Yes. But the journey is not over. There will always be challenges, new threats, and lessons to learn. But now we face them together." Suddenly, a soft light appeared in the sky. It was not a ship or a threat, but a signal from beyond the stars. Rin looked at it carefully. "Earth is not alone," he said. "Other worlds will watch us. They will see what humans can do when they unite." Mara nodded. "And they will know that this home is protected by humans, all of us together." The glowing rivers and floating towers reflected the light of the stars. For the first time in 500,000 years, humans from space and humans born on Earth were truly one. They had returned not to settle scores, but to create a future. A future where courage, strength, knowledge, and respect lived together. Ren raised his hand toward the sky. To Earth, he said. To our children. To our future. Mara stood beside him. To unity. To hope. To legacy. The city below seemed to respond. Lights glowed brighter, rivers sparkled, and forests shimmered in celebration. Humans worked, played, and dreamed together. The story of reunion had reached its highest point. Earth was no longer divided. It was united, strong, and ready for whatever the universe would bring. And in that moment, both humans and Earth itself seemed to breathe with a single purpose. The children of Earth had returned, not to claim, but to protect and build. Their legacy would last for generations, a story of courage, unity, and hope that would shine across the stars forever.